Toreador, garde, toreador, toreador. That was a couple of bars from the Toreador song. That's Escamillo's aria from Bizet's opera Carmen. My name is Keith Phares, and I will be singing the role of Escamillo with Opera Santa Barbara. And it describes a very typical bullfighting scene, the thrill that he gets out of doing that, and also the thrill of the prospect of someone who might be watching him in the crowd. So in this case, Carmen. This is my second Escamillo. The first time I sang this role was in 2005 with Arizona Opera. It was the first Bizet role I had ever sung. I started out as a trumpet player, and one of my favorite things to do was play in the pit orchestra for the high school musicals. I would go out and buy the recording of whatever show we were doing for the next year so I could hear the trumpet part. And so I'd put it on while I was doing my homework, and the next thing you know, I was singing along and singing while I was mowing the lawn or doing work in the house. There were a couple of cute girls that decided to try out for the all-county chorus in my school district, and so I decided to try out too. I got in and it seemed to come fairly easily to me, but I didn't really take to it at first. I was used to playing trumpet. But then I moved my senior year of high school, and I was in a school that didn't have enough people for a pit orchestra, and they needed guys for the show. And we were doing South Pacific. So I auditioned, and I ended up getting the lead, and that was when I was really bit by the bug. And one thing led to another. I talked to some people that suggested I really start seriously studying voice, and so I did. My junior year of college, I started taking classical voice, and the next thing I knew, I was applying to graduate schools and auditioning. I'm lucky I get to sing a lot of different types of repertoire in my career. I do a lot of standard repertoire like Rossini and Mozart, Bizet, of course, but in the past 5-10 years, I've done a lot of contemporary work, a lot of premieres, and new opera, particularly in English, and I always have a blast with that because it's kind of a clean slate. I get to step in and put my own mark on something, and sometimes I can get spoiled doing that because with other standard repertoire, I mean, you have traditions that you want to adhere to. You want to really serve the piece, especially if it's been in the repertoire for so long. You know, the good news is that I'm grateful for is that I still love doing standard rep, and this music in Carmen, it still gives me chills after all these years. And since Escamillo doesn't have that much to sing in the show besides his aria, and he's got a couple of duets, I get to stand backstage and listen to the rest of it, which is a blast. I hope you can take this opportunity to come see this performance of Carmen at Opera Santa Barbara. It's an amazing cast. I've worked with Costis Protopapas, the conductor, before, and he's wonderful, and it's going to be a really exciting show.